DEI is basically just politically acceptable discrimination, and of course it's not very popular with the American people, which is why it's fallen by the wayside. However, the left and the Democrats refuse to let it die, and that's exactly what we're going to see happen today with Mazie Hirono being completely owned by Genehamilton, co-founder of America First Legal. But before we get to these clips, don't forget to like and comment on this video so we break through the algorithms. Here we go.
There is nothing righteous or even morally defensible about intentionally discriminating against American citizens, especially based on their race or their sex. What matters is whether a person is the best candidate for the job, based on merit. Yet corporations, universities, K-12 schools, and other institutions that should know better have embraced intentional discrimination as though it were unquestionably their duty to do so. This was particularly true over the last 4 years under the Biden administration. Let me be clear. It is never acceptable, it is never okay for someone to hire, fire, promote, or take any employment action against an American citizen based on something like their skin color or sex. Balancing a workforce, for example, through race or sex-based preferences is never okay. Every reserved slot for one group necessarily excludes others.
Diversity is America's greatest strength. And as my Republican colleagues continue to demonize and otherize anyone who does not look like them, hate crimes continue to rise. Data shows that hate incidents are at their highest point since 2020, when the Senate passed my COVID-19 hate crimes bill. The Constitution mandates equal protection of the laws for everyone, full stop. It does not bar diversity, equity, and inclusion. Programming relating to diversity is not illegal just because Donald Trump says so. That is why I have introduced a pro-diversity resolution joined by all of my Democratic Judiciary Committee colleagues, reaffirming our commitment to the fundamental values of diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. I am proud to be from a state that is home to the nation's largest share of multiracial Americans. In Hawaii, we don't fear diversity, we embrace it. It is what brings us together. That is why I find it so confounding that my Republican colleagues are so fearful of diversity. My Republican colleagues are intent on teaching young people that people different from them are to be feared, mistrusted, and treated with suspicion. How does that bring us together? I've heard Republicans say that diversity undermines national unity. I'd like to remind us all that almost everyone at this table is descended from immigrants. The continental U.S. was created by Europeans who migrated to this place and founded a nation pretending that there were not millions of people who already lived here before Columbus so-called discovered America. This country was built by the work of slaves, dragged here against their will from a continent they would never see again. I do have one yes or no question for Mr. Hamilton. I know you're involved in DEI cases, but has any court opined that DEI is unconstitutional? Yes or no?
Yes.
Which court?
The United States Supreme Court.
I disagree with you because you're talking about the Harvard case.
You can go read it yourself.
And if you are using that case for the proposition that the United States Supreme Court deemed diversity goal as being unconstitutional, you are very wrong.
I don't think the Supreme Court said anything about diversity in the
Yeah,
entire.
so, okay, so you
just
do
spouted
admit
off
that
so many
diversity,
strawmen.
the
We
goal.
could fill a
excuse
field
me,
in Kansas.
I'm asking the
with that
questions
many
here.
strawmen
The goal of
we have
diversity
here.
is
We're
not
not talking about
unconstitutional.
diversity. We're talking about discrimination.
The goal of
the
diversity
Supreme Court
is
has
not
condemned is
unconstitutional.
discrimination against American citizens.
That's it.
Colleges, universities
This-
cannot discriminate against American citizens
You know,
on the
I'm not
basis
here
of
to
their
give
race.
you a forum
That is
to
flagrantly
basically
unconstitutional.
spew your anti-diversity rhetoric, okay? You are in court right now, and I would say that no court, including the Supreme Court, has not said that seeking diversity is unconstitutional. It is not.
Now, people often say that Mazie Hirono just isn't that bright, and to be honest, I have to agree. She has got to be one of the dumbest members of the Senate, okay? Because right off the bat, she asks her gotcha question, right? Has any court in America found that DEI is unconstitutional? Yes. Yes, in fact, the United States Supreme Court has found it to be unconstitutional. Now, of course, was it actually DEI? No, it was discrimination based on skin color, all right? That's basically all DEI is. When they say diversity, equity, inclusion, what they're really talking about is quotas, right? You have to have X number of these people, Y number of those people, and of course you can separate them by gender, etc., but you have to have these exact amounts. And of course what that means is other people are excluded based on how they look, based on what their gender is, all right? And that, of course, is what's unconstitutional, right? It's the discrimination aspect. But to Mazie Hirono, she doesn't understand that by putting in these quotas, you're actually discriminating against someone else. And that actually is unconstitutional, okay? So I love to see her get smacked down in real time in front of everyone out there for basically spreading false information, okay? But of course, what's the first thing she comes out and says? Diversity is our greatest strength. No, it's not. It's what we have in common that's our greatest strength, right? It's what we believe to be the actual Constitution, the actual laws that unite us in this nation. Equality, fair treatment, that's what unites us as a nation. That's what makes us strong. It's not our differences, but of course, actual differences like skin color and gender don't matter at all. It's our common beliefs that are important. And yes, we can all believe different things. I mean, we have different sides of the political aisle. And of course, if you go back about 50 or 60 years, at the very least, the Democrats weren't afraid to say that America is a great nation. But now, of course, you have this actual political divide where only one side actually likes the country we currently live in. Okay? But of course, you have Mazie Hirono over here saying that, oh, Republicans are actually fearful of diversity. They hate people that look differently, right? Well, remember, the Democrats actually hate people who think differently, right? Actual diversity of thought and opinion to them is abhorrent. It's something that shouldn't be allowed. The only thing that matters is how you look, and that's it. So it's nice to see that absolutely nothing has changed for the left, because it's this extremism that actually drove America into the arms of Donald Trump. So please, Democrats, keep it up. And by the way, keep electing Mazie Hirono. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and say hi to your mom for me. Do you like t-shirts? Of course you do. And now you can support the channel by buying an Angry Teacher t-shirt designed by me, Angry Teacher. So if you like America, if you like freedom, if you like liberty, then go ahead and click the link in the description, where all designs, of course, are 100% mother approved. So enjoy yourself and find something you like today.